Jared, you have the floor. Let's pull this up and let's go over this.
So what is it? The Californian people are trying to give black Californians the reparations could go up to $100 billion.
$800 billion.
$800 billion.
See, that's what happens when the number gets so big. You're like, what?
Yeah.
It's like, what is it? It's a big number.
But that's how they get you, because it's saying up to $800 billion.
Right.
When really this shit could be $5.
That's like when they go sales up to 40% off, and then you go get the shirt, and they're like, this particular shirt is half of a percentage off. And you're like, I thought it said 80% off. And they said, no, if you read the sign carefully, it said up to 80% off.
Right.
And you're like, what's 80% off? And they go, well, the thing that was 80% off got sold.
That's like the $3.99 gag.
The gag, you like that. So let's get into the details of this.
So it says it could cost California more than $800 billion to compensate black residents for generations over policing, disproportionate incarceration, housing discrimination.
So they're trying to level the playing field here based on stats. So this is sort of one of those equality of outcome situations, trying to right the wrongs of history situations.
Yeah, that's not enough, though.
The preliminary estimate is more than 2.5 times California's $300 billion annual budget and does not include a recommended $1.5 million per older black resident for health disparities that have shortened their lifespan. What the fuck? It's almost like they looked at data and they were just like, how do we give money to this data where this group is disproportionately represented in health? And so black residents may not receive cash payments anytime soon, if ever, because the state may never adopt the economist calculations. So there's a reparations task force that is scheduled to discuss the numbers Wednesday and can vote to adopt the suggestions or come up with its own figures. The proposed number comes from a consulting team of 5 economists and policy experts. We've got to go in with an open mind and come up with some creative ways to deal with this. Assembly member Reggie Jones Sawyer, one of 2 lawmakers on the task force, said. So this is state legislators and Gavin Newsom before the reparations could become reality. Holy shit. In an interview prior to the meeting, Jones Sawyer said he needed to consult budget analysts, other legislators. And so let's talk about this, since this is a non-controversial issue.
First off, $8 billion, way too low.
$800 billion.
$800 billion, way too low.
What do you want?
Because that's not going to even cover our sneaker costs.
You're going to need another.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to need another couple of billion.
Yeah, those original Jordan Chicago ones cost about that, so I need a little bit more.
Yeah. If I said that joke, I'm going to jail.
Oh,
Yeah. I said it vicariously for you.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
So that is true. We're going to have to deal with that. There should be a sneaker sub. There should be.
It could be a line item, a sneaker line item.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be. That's when you get the, like Good Will Hunting, when Ben Affleck goes in there pretending that he's Matt Damon, the retainer part, which is a funny scene. Retainer. That's when you get that guy going in there, negotiating, going like, okay, $800 billion, but what about our sneaker budget? It's like, okay, what do you need? Well, depends on what you mean by need. I would like $800 billion. It could be up to $800 billion. So we don't know what the number is, but where's the money going to come from? And can you take money? Like, let's say you're a taxpayer in California, and I don't know.
Did you see the reparations episode of Atlanta?
No.
Where what they did was if your family held slaves, you had to pay a tax.
I like that.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Because now with all the DNA, they could just trace you back, see where you're from. And all
How about this one? Let's have some fun. What if you're half black, half white? This year.
You pay
What
yourself.
if your dad's white, your mom's black? And does your mom get to get the payment from your dad?
I think it is. You get the money, but you have to burn half of it.
You got to burn half of it. Imagine that. That's tough. It's people. I don't know how people who are half black, half white deal with this issue in America. It's got to be tough.
It's easy. They just become NBA superstars.
That's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
Or like Derek G. It's constantly you got to always constantly hear about this shit. People are so caught up on fucking the way people look, or who gives a shit. One day in the future, if we make it again, I think a generation will grow up where like there's that sensitivity is over. So I think human beings will evolve past their lesser angels at a certain point.
And everyone will look the same at one point if we keep on intermixing. Like
Yeah,
you're not gonna be able to tell.
We'll still have our differences because different regions, and that happens over so many periods of time. But like, you got to understand, like we've only come together. You know, the travel has made this all possible pretty recently. I mean, there's been diverse places in the world, but travel has now accelerated that to the point where we're just like, whoa, we're here.
Yeah.
Hi. And they're like, whoa. Everyone's like, what the fuck? What's your culture? What's mine? So everyone's just figuring it out.
We just got here. We just got Korean and Mexican burritos.
We just got the Korean, Mexican, we just got Tex-Mex.
Just got that.
We just got Cuban, Chinese food. You know that fusion? There's a few.
yeah.
There was a famous restaurant up West Side that closed.
Asia de Cuba.
Yeah.
It was delicious. you ever tried Korean fried chicken?
Yeah, it's great. We just got those fusions.
I went to a Dominican Japan spot last week.
It was good?
It was really good.
Yeah.
I had sushi wrapped in mofongo.
Was it
Not,
good?
not even kidding. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
good.
it was good. Yeah. We just got here. There will come a day, dude. There's going to come because you know what I mean? Like, it's the thing. Like, I grew up, like, when you grow up, when you're exposed to it, you realize, like, there's no big deal. It's kind of like, you know what I mean? If they did a study, and the kids didn't know nothing and they brought them up, like, without knowing any of the history problems or whatever, kids wouldn't know the fucking difference. They would probably make lighthearted jokes about the differences between them, but they'd be friends and stuff like that. No, kind of like the way we grew up, in a large part, you know, because it's a normal thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's always the people who are exposed to the thing the least who know the most about it. You know, that's the first question I want to know when someone has something to say. It's like, what have you done? What's your experience in this field? And then explain it to me. Anyway, I hate when I get preachy. It's just the problem is I'm just right a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably not right a lot. And if I just realize that, I'll just hang up my fucking harangue hat and just go for the joke. But look, I don't know what you do here. If you're an interracial couple, I mean, somebody's getting paid and someone's losing a lot of money. How do they do that? Is there an exception there? But I do like that Atlanta idea. So if your family, if you can prove, but is that fair to fucking, you know, if you're like Hitler's great-great-great-grandson, you fucking, like, you know, if they're giving reparations to Jews, do you take it from him? I mean, what did he do? Like, he's a whole different person.
Yeah, but hhis family has benefited over the years from unpaid labor, right?
But what if he hasn't inherited any money from his
And
family?
what if he works at Burger King?
What do you mean?
What if he currently works at Burger King?
Well, that's
That person.
Yeah, what if he currently works at Burger King?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do? You take where's the money going to come from?
that's what made the show interesting. Because
Yeah.
the guy that they went after didn't have any money.
You're making me want to watch Atlanta.
It's a
It's
good
a
show.
really
Yeah.
good show. You should.
It sounds like a fun premise. Yeah, I mean, I heard it's good for so many people. If we lived in a smarter society, that would probably be a much more popular show,
It's dark.
means it's good. All the best stuff. Life can be dark.
What do you mean by that?
Like,
Right? You know, here's the thing. This is how you know context is everything and how we're children now. And children, who doesn't get context? Children, adults do. Here's how you can change that, right? If he went, it's a dark show, and threw a wink in there, if he threw me a wink, totally different meaning than, it's a dark show, right? If you just one little wink. Or if you say it, the way you say it, hey, man, it's a pretty dark show. You know what I mean? Man, that show can get dark. Then you're like, oh, there's nothing. But if you go, hey, man, that show can get dark, and you move your eyes like that, totally different.
Yeah.
Totally different. Nuance. Context, baby. Grow the fuck up. I don't know. So I think they're going to do it. Here's what's going to happen in reality. People are going to fucking leave California. People aren't going to go like, hey, I'm going to stick around have my money taken from me to give to descendants of slaves. Like, they're going to be like, what? I'm just a fucking guy. They're gonna be like, I'm a copywriter. Some guy's gonna be like, I'm a fucking barista. What do you take? So I don't know how this is gonna work. If you could take it from like, I wouldn't be against financial reparations. A little money doesn't hurt. If I was black, I'd be like, yeah, it sounds good. The Jews got it, right? From
I think
the Germans.
Germany paid
war reparations.
Israel, right?
Yeah, they paid them something.
They gave Israel money.
It's not a crazy idea when people go like, oh, this is an absurd idea. Not necessarily. You know?
It's a little different though, because Germany, is giving it to another country, so you're not really around the effects of the money. I think white people will be angered if they're driving in the streets of LA and they just see nothing but Escalades.
I knew it was coming. It was a good one.
Again, in the Atlanta episode, you see black guys gassing up their Lambos.
Oh, yeah? But then you go, is money, can you compensate with money? You know, like.
Money goes a long way.
Goes a long way. Where would the money come from? It could come somewhere other than taxpayers' pockets. The government, taxpayers, any additional, they could allocate it, they could reallocate like some of the military budget if that is deemed redundant. I don't know when that will ever be deemed redundant. I guess when we can blow up the world 1,000,000 times over, it may be deemed redundant. And then you could do a one-time bang. Just a boom. Everybody gets 50 G's, 80 G's, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Am I lowballing it? 300 G's. It would be kind of nice if everyone just got 100 G's.
What do you mean by everyone?
If every descendant of slaves got 100 G's. There'd be a lot of Africans who weren't born here that are trying to scam it in. They'd be hiding those accents. Nigerians be coming in trying to be like, they'd be struggling. Hello. They'd be trying real hard not to have that African accent.
Yeah. Y'all heard that dude 50 Cent album? That shit tight. Yeah.
And if you think Sean King is the only person, there will be a lot of dudes going like, what's up, man? I'm light skinned. What's up? If you there'll be a lot of Elizabeth Warrens coming with 23andMe stock would go through the roof.
Yo, son, I'm 5% African.
There you go, 5%. So at what percent do you cut that off too? Do you give somebody who's got 3% African? Even 10%'s not a lot. 16%? I mean, where do you cut it off? Would it be?
Yeah, that is true because, Plessy v. Ferguson, one drop of black blood is black. So, and that comes from our own legislation of our government.
So then maybe give it to everyone who's got a drop.
Yeah, give it a drop. Or if you have, under a certain percentage, all you get is, an ice pack for your back.
You get based on your percentage.
You get a coupon.
It's a sliding scale based on your DNA.
Yeah.
So if you're 100%, you get this amount. You get a percent. I like that.
Yeah, if you're 60, you get a lifetime supply of Palmer's.
That's a great thing. Yeah. Yeah. If you're 80, you get a nice TV watching chair. Lifetime supply of applesauce. You get a carte blanche, lifetime paid for diner booth where you can sit and eat whatever. Old people love a diner.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Do you know how many white dudes would be rushing to bang sisters if this happened? They'd be like, yo, let me get a piece. People, it would be really funny.
Yeah.
People would there'd be a lot of scams. People would be like, I'm part black. You see a lot more interracial couples.
There'll be people brushing up on their black.
All of a sudden, Dominicans would be like, no, we're black. We're black. No, we're black. Because they're always like, no, we're Latino. We're Latino. We're not black. And I'd be like, no, we're black. Very funny. Yeah. What do you do with Dolezal? Does she get the payment? She's got black kids.
I think she gives an honorary payment.
Yeah.
She gets grandfathered in.
Yeah. I think, this is what I truly think at this point. I know I've made jokes about Dolezal, Sean King, and then the last one, Sarawati, all these. But I think if you want to be something, you should be able to be something. It's America, right? Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Why not? If you're like, hey, I want to be black, can't you just be black? Right? Even if it's not true? Or no?
It's true, but this is America, so you have to pay money in order to do something. But I think in that case, it's either money or you have to pay something. You have to give something up.
You got to give something to the black community. You got to buy a blackness. I
yeah.
like your fucking ideas today.
You got to get a subscription.
You're coming with some good fucking ideas. You got to buy in. I fucking love it, dude. The black community is looking for a strong new leader, and brother, it could be you. With your ideas?
No, don't put me on that shit. No.
Are you kidding me? You listen. How come nobody came up with the idea? Like, listen, we'll call it. You call it the what's her name? Rachel Dolezal law. You know, there's like people have laws named after them. Baseball rules. There's rules after Tommy John surgery was named after Tommy John. Then we have the Rachel Dolezal clause, where if you can, like the way you can apply for citizenship, you can apply for blackness, but you got to pay it's like a passport fee. You got to pay $225 to get your passport. You got to pay a certain amount to achieve African American status.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you got to commit all the way. So,
You got to commit all the way. You can't go back because once you go black, you can't go back.
Right.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah,
You can't go black.
You got to take literacy tests.
You can't go
do
black.
all that shit.
The cops pull you over, you can't go back.
Right.
You can't. None of that shit gets documented. You go to prison if that happens. The cops pull you over and you go, "Hi, officer. Hi, my name's not Rachel Dolezal. My name is Kimberly Stacy Johnson. I'm from Iowa." You can't do that. You can't go back. I love it. And then maybe that's where the reparations come from, because if they did that, a lot of people would be applying for their black citizenship. A lot of white people want in.
Oh, yeah. We grew up with a few.
Yeah. Yeah. At one point, I would have wanted in. I would be black right now. I would have got my citizenship around 16, 17. I may do it now.
Yeah. It's never too late.
It's never too late.
Never too late to change your life.
I think that's a great idea, man.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the greatest ideas I've ever heard. Then there's no more controversy. Then, then you achieve transracial, and maybe we can do something also with the trans women. Like,
And that's where the reparations come from.
they come from there,
The fees that they pay.
right? And you guys could recruit, like tourism. There'll be like commercials, like go to Bahamas, like when there'll be like tourism bureau commercials from like blacks, like just making it appealing. You see the club and everyone's like, just fucking passing fucking weed around, sharing it, and the music is just hitting and everybody's just vibing on the dance floor, and you're like, I want part of that. I want a part of that. And it's like, yo, man, come, like instead of come to Barbados, it's like, yo, come
to black.
come to black, man. Come on down.
First
love
in
it.
line, Bill Clinton.
And they recruit, like the military recruits, you recruit.
Or like
and you
Scientology.
Or like Scientology, you recruit. And then that funds reparations. That's a business. That could be a business. I love it. Your ideas today are, you should run for office, man. At least city council or something. Get in the state legislature or something. Get these ideas pushed forward.